It's really hard to be a beginning teacher. They don't tell you about all the hard things that you're going to experience when you're going to school.
It's amazing, it's fun, but it's such hard work.
I am desperately trying to get better every single minute, and I am lagging behind because I'm a first-year teacher.
There is nobody more important on impacting student achievement than the classroom teacher.
Today, our classrooms are so diverse. We have, in this school district, more than 50 different language backgrounds. Out of 15,000 students, we have more than 2,000 who have IEPs, who have special needs. All of these children are in the regular classroom, and a regular classroom teacher is expected to meet all of their needs. The pressure that we have on our young teachers is 100 times greater today than it was when I began teaching.
If kids get into a classroom where a teacher's not that successful or not that experienced, it takes years for them to get over that and to catch up in the gaps that they may have missed. And so, you know, by doing things to support every teacher, we start to diminish the number of times that happens in any kid's life.
It's just hard work. There's no harder work in the world other than being a parent, I think, than being a teacher, particularly at the beginning of their professional careers.
Good morning, good morning. Let's play this start today.
My first day, my plans did not go near as close to what I had laid out.
In my interview here at Weller, I said, I'm ready. I am so ready. And I was. I don't think anything, though, can prepare you for actually being in the classroom. Nothing can.
Hey, here's the keys to your room. Good luck, you know.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's kind of how it is. And you walk into this empty room with some
Nothing on the walls.
tables over here and some chairs.
As new teachers, I think we're all aware that we are new to the profession, and I think sometimes we hold back our uncertainties or our concerns
That's a good
out
point.
of perhaps pride or just perhaps I don't want them to know how clueless I am.
I have a beginning teacher that on paper, when we hired him last year, I thought, wow, this guy is totally awesome. Well, I started him in a third grade, and then all of a sudden the enrollment changed, and I said, you'll love first grade, let me tell you.
First of all, I didn't know first grade kids because I did my student teaching at the fourth grade level, and I didn't know how needy they are and how you have to micromanage every tiny aspect of what they do. And so I wasn't expecting that, and I didn't know that they wouldn't know how to read, a lot of them, you know, so I didn't know how to teach a kid how to read starting from the very basics. So there was all these things in play, and on top of that I had all these behavior problems, and I was just going crazy, and I remember after one day of just barely making it through the day, I just remember sitting in my room and I was like, I'm done. I am not coming back here.
We looked at the research why teachers leave the profession, and as a misconception that many have is it wasn't about pay. It was about feeling supported, it was about feeling like they were effective, and having the ability to dialogue with other professionals, and mentoring seemed to be the absolute perfect fit.
We looked around at what was going on across the nation, and one program came up over and over and over, and that was the New Teacher Center in the University of California, Santa Cruz. And at the time they had, I believe, about 14 years of experience working with beginning teachers. Up to that point, we had been what we term as buddy mentoring. Everybody would give the kind of support that they could to that beginning teacher, but everybody that was supporting that beginning teacher also had a full class of students. The New Teacher Center had a completely different take on that. They had teachers that were fully released from their teaching job. We were really taken by that. This is what we need to do.
When I got a mentor who could help me develop my strengths and fix my weaknesses, I became a very good teacher. And the stuff she's giving me and leading me in won't go away at the end of our partnership. I will be able to carry it with me throughout my career, and all the kids that I teach will benefit from the time I've spent with my mentor. It's worth every penny, in my opinion.
Our goals were to increase teacher retention and to improve student achievement. So when we gather retention data, we're looking at who was being mentored and still is teaching in the state. And then we also break it up by those in rural districts, urban districts, and those in their first year or their second year of teaching. So our retention rates have been really improving over time. We're at an 87% retention rate, which is great. You know, when we started the project, the districts we work with were around a 68% retention rate.
That's evidence of something working. We don't want suffering to be a part of those first 2 years or 3 years. There's going to be enough of that with the the $10 gallon of fresh milk, the $1,500 plane ticket home, the isolation, and all the things that go with it.
They want to stay in Alaska. They want to stay in their rural villages or their urban sites, and they are the best teachers they can be at the earliest possible moment.
It was definitely worth it and beneficial to have my mentor there. The forms that she used guided our discussions, and she had model lessons before that gave me a lot of really good ideas to use.
We were able to do a study to see if the mentoring of the new teachers was trickling down and having an effect on student achievement. And so what we found was typically, new teacher students scored 20 to 30 points lower on average than their veteran counterparts. But with our mentoring, these students were scoring almost similar, within 5 points or 7 points of the students with veteran teachers. And so for us, what this shows is it's a first step at really seeing that mentoring is starting to close that gap that we normally see of students with new teachers.
We set goals, and so she knew my classroom goals, so we had that focus in mind. When the students really got the structures down and I, was more in tune with their needs at that age, then we were able to grow academically as a class. I feel like I've grown a lot this year, and I also have a great start for future years of teaching.
When we find good people, let's hang on to them and let's make them better. And the Teacher Mentor Program is something that really does cue in on that.
We are getting the results that the legislature wanted, that the Department of Education wanted, and that the University of Alaska wanted. We are helping teachers stay within the profession, and we are helping students achieve better. So the bottom line is, it works.
They're finding their career more satisfying because they're able to find some success in that first and second year that then builds a foundation for success in later years. That alone makes the program worthwhile.
Having a mentor is going to save the teacher from going crazy.
Drowning.
Drowning.
Hey, giant